Originally, they started off not as Kenwood.
Test.
Kenwood started Rio India Oscar Thrill or Trial, and then Kenwood I think bought it, and of course Yaesu was there, and so other manufacturers in Japan. And I know that because I used to go to Japan, and and I did meet some of the old people there, like the former owner of, or he's probably gone now, but the old Matsushita, the owner of Panasonic, and I followed all the developments of these radios, including Acom, and Acom started much later compared to Yaesu and Kenwood. But going back to the Kenwood audio, they had the best audio before, and much better even than the Yaesu transceivers. But then, Yaesu, J1 Mike Papa, he's a student of Art Collins, of Collins Radio, and he used to copy a lot of the Collins equipment, the circuitry and all of that. In fact, the original FT DX 101 is a copy of the KWM2, except that it was transistorized, and it had a hybrid circuitry in the sense that it uses tubes in the finals. But they have improved a lot, and of course Acom used to have the worst audio there was. Believe it or not, especially when they had the first Acom transceiver that came out. I had one, and I had to sell it because I didn't like the transmit audio, and then of course. Yaesu had one of the better audio, transmit audio before, but they couldn't beat the Kenwood audio. So, but one of the disappointment on the flagship radio of Kenwood today is that. Okay, as you can see, oh, by the way, JBC already bought Kenwood, and I don't think they're going to come up with anything better than what they have right now. And depending on what the market conditions are, they may just get out of the amateur radio business. So, but one of the things that is a disappointment. I'm sure you don't want to hear this, Cesar. Is that the transmit audio of the 990 is not as good as the 890. And of course, the 990 has got all the bells and whistles, the nods and stuff like that. And I think it's basically a keeper flagship radio, in which case I don't think you should get rid of it. Just like the 101 Delta, it's a keeper, no matter what. I'm not going to sell this, even if I get the Anan. And I'll take your advice for it, Cesar. I'm going to get the I'm gonna get the 6,000. I don't need a high output because of the so much amplifiers I got, and I think one of the things that makes it very attractive is that it's got a diversity receiver. And in which case, like I said, all the other manufacturers don't have it yet, except in the VHF and UHF radios where they have the diversity receivers. And Anan has got it nailed down. When you study the diversity receiver of Anan, it's unheard of in the sense that when you use the two receivers together, and then you have two independent antennas, and then you combine the receivers facing, and then you're able to take out the noise, basically the noise. Which sometimes is not possible with the noise reduction circuitry, even the circuitry of Anan. And when you're able to, when you have this kind of receiver, you would be so enthusiastic to find more noise that you can find in your receiver, and you try to cancel them out using this technology. In other words, we basically normally we try to avoid the noise. We have on the band, whether it's QR Nancy or QR Mary. But when you have these diversity capability plus the noise reduction, program of the Anan, then you try to find all types of noise and try to experiment and see how effective they are. Anyways, that's going adrift too far. So that's how it goes. And by the way, Mike, I have a lot of respect for that 3000 rig of yours, especially the audio. And by the way, when the factory in Taiwan got burned, they had to stop production of the 3000. But I heard that the 3000 is one of the best microprocessor circuitry that is known, and even up to now, it's still unparalleled. Mike, over.
VA3 KBC.
Okay, KBC, V3 KBC, acknowledge that one there. I'll be back in a second. I bought this radio in, hang on, 2016 or something, and it wasn't cheap then. It was a couple of $1,000s there. Then I have no clue. I think they're probably there. I'm pretty sure they're discontinued now. But I liked the FTDX 1200 as well there, and the 3000. Although the stock microphone that came with it is, you can use it as a PTT switch. Just don't talk in it because it sounds horrible. That's why I have the other setup here. Peter. Okay, let me pick up the breaking station there. V3 KBC, I think you said. This is V3 LPO with V3 DIG and V3 NNP. Peter out of Hamilton there. Go ahead.
Rogers, Victor, Alpha 3, Kilo Bravo Charlie. Name's Don. I go by DJ. I've talked to you guys in the past, so I am live streaming now as well. And you can pick that up on my QRZ page. There's a link to the YouTube as well. And Peter, I have the 7000 DLE Mark II, and I don't have any outboard audio equipment, just what's in the radio. I do have the Golden Age Pre-73 Junior mic preamp for my RE27 ND here. And I also have a USB audio interface for the mic to go through the computer for YouTube, but that's about it. I have the 10-band paramedic equalizer and CFC screenshots on my QRZ page as well. But with Richie, what he's been doing with Thetis now, I've got the new meters up. I have them on the screen here so you can see what they look like. And I wasn't really concerned about having the meters, but now that I have them and the bar graphs, it's some pretty nice eye candy. Just gives you a little bit more information. I have them stacked, so there's a lot of information there. But it is a good program. Richie's continually improving it. It's almost like you get a new radio every time there's an update, and it's free. That is the beauty, because when I had my Flex 6300, which I really enjoyed, there was, you had to pay $200 if you wanted to get to the new features, which a lot of the times didn't even work that well. Never ever did get the ANF to work properly. So, but with the Flex, they have that military contract, and that seems to be their bread and butter. So when it comes to the amateur radio software, they're not seem to be doing much to improve it. So, but anyhow, everybody's got their opinions. Everybody's got likes their radio, and that's nothing wrong with that. When I worked for John Deere always said they were happy there was other, manufacturers, Case, International, Massey, New Holland, Ford, all that, because that's competition. Competition drives innovation. So that's the same with amateur radio. The different companies doing their different things, and all adds to the benefit of the amateur radio community, hopefully. Now, as far as Kenwood, I had a 590 and an 830. Both had great audio. I agree with you. They had really good audio. But, they seem to have kind of fallen by the wayside with anything new. I think the 890 came out 5-6 years ago, somewhere around there. Maybe even longer now. I kind of forget. But in any event, it's a shame because, they have good radios and good audio. So, but everybody's got to pick what they want, and that's what makes the world go around. Everybody's got their favorites, and all I can say is going from the Flex to the Anan here. Wow, what a big improvement, and just all the things that I can do with it, and I'm very, very happy with it. So just wanted to add my 2 cents, and as I said, I am live streaming. There's about a 3 to 5 second delay there, so it can be kind of confusing to you, but it'll be saved on YouTube there for later viewing if you guys want to watch it later tonight or tomorrow or whatever. But anyhow, so I'm not sure who it goes to, but I'll just unkey here and let whoever wants to pick it up. Victor Alpha 3 Kilo Bravo Charlie.
Victor Alpha 3 Alpha Victor Tango.
Hello, Anthony.
Good morning, DJ.
Well, it's good afternoon now.
My bad. I gotta stop sleeping until 11 o'clock.
Nothing wrong with that, my friend.
Oh, DJ catching up with me rather quickly.
Well, I'm going to be 71 coming this May 12th.
Well, God bless. Hopefully I make it to that age, but all is good this afternoon, and good afternoon to everyone at Frequency. And I just turned that on and heard your voice, so I have no idea who is all in here. Just checking in with on the Frequency, Victor Alpha 3 Alpha Victor Tango in the group.
Roger. Yeah, I didn't write anything down, so I'll just let whoever wants to pick it up. VA3 KBC.
V3NNP. DJ, congratulations on your live stream, and good afternoon, Anthony. Yeah, Peter here, Victor Echo 3, November, Papa. DJ, your audio is really very, very good. In fact, you sound as if you're inside the studio. I've done a lot of recordings before in studios, and I used to even supervise announcers in making radio, TV, cinema commercials and stuff like that. So I've been around the block when it comes to studio recording, and you got one of the better ones. By the way, what's your live stream name on YouTube? Over.
Yeah, Victor Alpha 3 Kilo Bravo Charlie VA3 KBC. You can pick it. Just do a search, and it'll be there. And as I said, there's a link from my QRZ page. Well, Peter, when I bought this Anan, it was about 8 months old. From Nate there, he was going to take a break from amateur radio, so he offered it to me, and I jumped on it and sold my Flex. He sent me the file, so I loaded that. Didn't take very long to get it up and running. And then Art N4QNT, we did a live. We did Team View. There we go, Team View. And with that, he had me talking, and he went in and he set the 10-band parametric equalizer and the CFC. So like I said, those screenshots are on my QRZ page. And I've not touched it in 2 years now. So everything that he set up, that's the way it is. And I have not touched it. So I'm just that kind of a guy, KISS method, keep it simple, stupid. So that's why I've gone this route. The guys with the EQing, the outboard, they may sound even better than I am, but that's good. There's no problem with that. The thing is that a lot of radios, they receive 2.7, 2.9, and to have any audio gear, they're not going to really get much out of it. You have to at least be listening at 4K to really get the fidelity, high fidelity, really make a difference. So, but yeah, so that's the story here. And as far as my stream, I have a USB microphone about 5 inches from the speaker, so that's picking up the radio, and then the RE27 here, it's going through a USB audio interface to go onto the YouTube. That's how I do it. A lot of other guys with the outboard equipment, they do it a little bit differently. So their audio on the radio, anybody talking sounds better than what mine is, but mine's that KISS method again. Keep it simple, stupid. So back to you, Peter.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's a very good setup. Like I said, so one of the better sounding audio I've heard so far. And I've been trying to decide whether to get the RE27 because I think that's the only mic for me at this point. Because I remember when I used to, go to recording studios before that was the industry standard, and that was many decades ago, and it still is the RE20 and RE27, and now the 327, the 320. Anyway, like I said, it's a very good sounding audio. I'll look for that recording and see how this thing is coming out. And there are so many features now that Anan has. I've been reading quite a bit of it, and one of the things that you got to explore is the diversity of receiver. Of course, the only drawback there is you got to have two identical antennas, which are at least 100 feet apart, and then that's the time you fool around with the facing of the antennas, and you're able to really bring down the noise level floor if you have a problem. Of course, if you don't, then you don't. Anyways. So anyway, I'll push it back to Cesar, and I think I'll get the I'll get my feet wet first with the lowest, model, which is about, which is a 6,000 DLE. Or, of course, the suggestion of Cesar is to get the 8,000 DLE and then forget about it. Cesar, what do you say? Over.
Just a sec, Caesar. Peter, I'm not so sure you're correct on the diversity antenna. You just need a receive antenna, whether it's on the ground or something else. They don't have to be identical, from what I understand, because I think Doug, KB2 UKA, he's using the diversity. Same with Nate when he had this radio, he was using just an antenna on the ground. He sent me the information on that, so it does not have to be identical. Because I was questioning that. I thought that they had, how does that work? But apparently that's not the case. But anyhow, I'll turn it back to Caesar. Go ahead, Caesar. VA3 KBC.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Well, I read that also. They say that you can use any. In fact, even a piece of wire will do the trick. But of course, it's when it comes to phasing, then sometimes the very principle of diversity is that you basically try to combine two signals, and then you put it maybe out of phase or off-phased or whatever, and then you get the best. You try to get the best results. And I think in that respect, I guess it doesn't really matter where you get the signals, but I believe in like for instance, when you try to generate, let's say, from a double sideband to a single sideband, originally when they started off with single sideband, it used to be the AM signal, which we call the amplitude modulation. And of course, at the middle of it is your carrier, and you got two sidebands. And you have the, of course, the lower and then the upper sideband. So what the engineers did is to be able to put a lot of your power into one of the sidebands, you have to get rid of the other sideband. And of course, that's when they started off with what you call as the balance modulator. And by doing that, you're able to suppress one of the sidebands. And following the same principle, the same principle, you will see that if you want to have the best results, the best thing, of course, is to have identical setup, and then you switch, you change the facing of your antenna, and if you have a balance, it doesn't have to be identical, but something similar. Then you'd probably get better results anyways. So anyway, that's just my opinion, DJ. You don't have to agree with it, over.
Well, you know a lot more on the subject than I do, or Peter. So no argument there.
Okay, very good. All right, let's push it to Cesar. Back to you. What do you say? 8,000 versus 6,000, over.
Yeah, okay, very good there, Peter. Actually, I just gotta go to lunch now. I was listening in there, but I have to pull the plug here. But I just wanted to say good afternoon to Anthony there and DJ. Good to hear you guys on. And Mike, I believe Mike's still in there. I guess the conversation's a little bit more technical, and I enjoy listening to this kind of roundtable. I seem to learn new things every time I do. Peter seems like he's a knowledgeable guy, and yeah, I mean, I just like the hobby. I just like to play with different radios and experiment with all of them. Right now I'm on the Yaesu FTDX 101D, another one of my favorite radios. I know it's not going to compare to the Anan and certain applications, but it seems to do an excellent job for what I need. Anyway, yeah, I mean, the Anan, I was on the Anan a little earlier, and Peter seems to be all hyped up on the Anan, which is a great radio, and I believe you should go with the top notch, Peter. You're very technical, and I think you're going to have fun with all the bells and whistles on that radio. I'm still learning quite a bit, and I've probably only used a fraction of what the radio can do. And as far as that, I mean, all the radios have quite a few things that you could do these days, as far as what modes and what you need the radio for. But I think you should just bite the bullet, Peter. Maybe sell a couple older pieces there and pick up the top notch there. So anyway, with that, I'll just I'll pass it over to. I'm not sure. I mean, I know Peter's been on and DJ. I think Mike. Maybe I'll pass it over to Mike, and then he can pass it along, and I'll be checking out at this point, guys. It was great to hear you guys all on. VE3 LPO in the group, VE3 DIG. Take care, 73.
Yeah, okay, Caesar, you have a great lunch there, and I'm sure we'll talk again. I'll let the microphone go for a second.
73 Caesar.
33 Caesar.
73, bro.
Okay, I think that was everybody there, and yeah, good afternoon, Anthony, VA3 AVG there. Yeah, the sideband stuff there. I remember I wasn't even a ham operator yet there, but I was trying to learn all kinds of stuff about sideband, and they had the big stuff then was the hot stuff was the Plessy or Plessy. I'm not sure how you pronounce it there. Those chips, and those were balance modulators. And I looked at the diagrams, and it was mind-blowing how that all worked there. But lots of people used to still build stuff themselves, and nowadays it all comes out of a box. But you still, you need to know how to run it there. And those SDRs is like a whole new education in ham radio. As far as I'm concerned, you do have to know what you're doing and what you're looking at there. You can measure a lot, but if you don't know what you measure or what you're looking at, it's kind of pointless in buying something like that there. But the SDR is basically the way to go. I think that's all the next follow-up radios in ham radio are all going to be software defined. I don't think we're going to be able to step away of that part there. But the old ones, the old Kenwoods sound phenomenal. I like the Anan sound. It's just different than from a Flex, but that's just a personal thing there. I like Yaesu, but from all the SDRs that I hear, the Anan basically has the nicest audio coming out of it, just specific type of audio. But that's just a personal thing there. And yeah, I think Peter is going to have lots of fun buying one of those and play with it there until you figured everything out there. It's pretty elaborate, and like DJ said, you get a lot of stuff, updates for free. And with the Flex, it's just like an Apple product there. Oh, you want something, you have to pay for it there, and that doesn't attract me at all. They're just some add-ons or updates can be pretty costly. If you can get them for free, that I like that after service. So Anan would be my first choice instead of Flex there. Anyway, so put it back to Don there. VA3 KBC, VA3 LPO in the group.
Okay, VA3 KBC in the group. Well, there's a couple of other features as well. The noise reduction 2 works fantastic. You probably hear on whenever you go to watch the stream, you'll hear how quiet it is, and I I love that feature. And again, the other thing is the pure signal. So that's another feature. But the one thing I think you also hit on was the fact that SDR is the future. I mean, how long ago was it when sideband first came out? All the AMers said, "Oh, Donald Duck, oh, that's not going to fly." And now it's the mainstay. It's AMers are kind of a novelty, and I think the same is going with the amplifiers today. Tube amps are becoming more expensive, mainly because of the tubes, and then trying to replace the tubes has become even more difficult. Some are impossible to get, and then the cost of those tubes is crazy. Like the tube here for my my amplifier here, the for crying out loud, the 1010 here, that tube I think from DX Engineering I think is around $1,400 now. The G8U or whatever the heck it's called. Anyhow, so Acom 1010, but the solid state amps now are becoming very more prevalent and more popular, and it's just technology, guys. If you don't embrace it, it'll leave you behind. So I think the same is with the SDR radio. So it's inevitable. And man, I'll tell you, to upgrade with some software changes and firmware changes, you don't have to send anything away. You download it and you're up and running, and it's like having a brand new radio. So that's just some of the features I've noticed, and I'm a relatively new ham. You guys are probably old timers. I got licensed March 27th of 2012, so I'm 11 years now, ham radio operator. So it's I've seen a lot in that 10 years. I started out with a Kenwood TS590. I really liked that radio. 6 months later, I got an 830 that I used on 160 meters, and sold them both and got the Acom 756 Pro 3, and really liked that radio, but big heavy radio, and I got thinking, here in Canada to send anything away to get repaired is very costly. So I was listening on 17 meters, and at that time I had the KIO hex beam on the farm. I was doing a lot of 17 meters, and I heard all these guys talking about the SDR radios. A lot of them were using Flex at the time. So that got me interested, and I did some research reviews on eHam and thought, that may be the way to go. So happened to be talking to Angelo on 160 and mentioned that I'm thinking of going SDR, and he says, well, I got a Flex 6300 I don't use. So we got on the phone, and he made me an offer I couldn't refuse. And he just took it to the Amsoil warehouse in Mississauga there, and Rob sent it off with my pallet of oil, so I got it that way. And 20 minutes I had the software all hooked up, and when I seen that waterfall pan adapter and I seen all the stations on the whole spectrum, I thought, holy mackerel, I feel like I've been blind all this time. You'd spin the VFO up, you'd spin the VFO down, trying to find a spot to talk on or trying to find stations to listen to. Now it's all right there in a glance, and I thought, wow, pretty easy software to utilize, some tabs here and there, easy to set up. So that was my getting my feet wet in the SDR, and then when I had the opportunity to get the Anan here, I jumped at it, and then that was just a whole new explosion of more features than that. And some guys say, well, I don't like using a mouse. I like dials and buttons and that. Well, fine. That, nothing wrong with that. Everybody's got their preference, but I love using the mouse. It's simple, and there's tabs, and it's easy to go through everything. So that's how I look at it. And everybody has their pros and cons of every radio, and I just I'm 110% satisfied with mine here. So VA3 KBC. I'll give it to Peter.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, by the way, I think we were neglecting Anthony. Anthony, are you still on frequency?
I am, Peter. Thank you for sending it back to me. Good afternoon to you, Peter. And I missed V3 LPO's name. And good afternoon to you. DJ, really like the new update Anan has come up with. I'm really digging those new meters. I just might pick up an Anan. They just sold me on that new update, and of course I always like the way the Anan sounds over the air. I mean, I'm kind of an audio connoisseur, I guess. 20 years in ham radio, and I've always had some sort of studio mic connected and with audio processing, and compared to the Flex, not that there's anything wrong with the Flex, but for me, I just cannot get into their sound quality. Even adding external processing with that microphone, I just don't think they sound bright enough. Well, but when I heard the Anan, boy, I'm really liking that sound, and I just might sound one of my Maritron amplifiers, my 1500, and pick up 7,000 or an 8,000 Anan. Like I said, DJ, that new update is absolutely gorgeous. I really like those meters, and the good thing is, like Peter said, and the other fella, the updates are free with Anan, as opposed to Flex, you gotta pay for them. And that's not my cup of tea. Send them back over to the V3 LPO, VA3 VT.
Yeah, VA3 AVT, V3 LPO returning in the group there. Oh, the name is Mike, by the way, Anthony there, Mexico, India, Kilo Echo. And the location is at Tamagami, which is roughly 100 clicks north of North Bay and about 250 miles north of Toronto. So I'm up in the northeast part of Ontario. And yeah. Like I said, if you go for all the SDR, the Anan Flex or something in that department there, it's a different learning curve. But I get what DJ is saying. You look at like, whoa, I can see everything in one go. Yeah, compared to this one has a little band scope in it there, but it's not. It's way less. Made up than what you get on a bigger screen from from the SDRs like the Anan and the Flex there. You see everything in basically in one go, and it's very easy to see an empty spot. And with like the FTDX 3000 I have, you just have to go and look kind of a little bit there. Sometimes it looks empty, but there's still something there. And with the other setup, you actually see if there's anything there, and it's just way more fine-tuned all the way and thought through all the way there than the other radios there. But they all, I don't think they really make bad radios anymore. And the SDRs, I think that's just the only route that you're going to have to take afterwards. But there's still a lot of other radios out there that are still functional there. And DJ was just lucky that he got the Anan from, I think you said Angelo there. I know Angelo too. He's always frantically busy with his hobby and the other 20,000 things he has on his mind at the same time there. He's a busy guy there, for sure there. I'll put it back to... what is it there, Peter there in Hamilton, VE3 NNP there. I'm just going to grab myself another cup of coffee and have a cigarette, so I'll be gone for a couple of minutes there. Peter, pick it up.
Okay, yeah, very good, Mike. VE3 LPO and the group, VE3 NNP. Yeah, excellent, Mike. You go ahead and just come back, I suppose we'll all still be here. And Anthony, just like you, I am also, excited to explore new territories, and it looks like Anan is ahead of the pack. It's an outlier in terms of breaking into new grounds. And I was reviewing, the 101 Delta DX10, 7300, 7610 I have, and then the 6400 Flex. And I said, what next? And I said, well, the one that is probably challenging, after comparing all these radios that I have, using, a coaxial switch, one antenna, and then trying to listen and determine which radio is the best, I said, there must be something better. And and then that got me off into studying the specifications. I'm a detailed guy. I used to have or run a service depot for a factory service depot for Panasonic, Sony, and JVC, and all the other consumer brands, and so I used to deal with a lot of, a lot of diagrams and stuff like that. So, and then, doing all the, I wasn't the one doing the repairs. I had technicians under me, and so I got to understand what they were doing. So I make sure I knew exactly where. What page we were in the service manual when we do repairs. So anyway, so in this case, I think technology has gone to that extent where most of the repairs are gone out of the window. There was a time when we used to replace modules, let's say on TV sets, on stereo units, and different equipment. But now it's the whole shebang. So if your TV goes off, the manufacturer will, if you buy it, if it's still under warranty, they'll just send you a whole new unit. And it's a different concept now. Gone are the days where the service depots were making money. Today, forget it. It doesn't. They don't serve any purpose anymore, except for very specialized items. But anyways, it looks like the SDR is in, and then the rest of the technologies are being replaced gradually. But I think the SDR is the thing of the future, but I think certain remnants of the old technology will remain, like the super heterodyne concept or receivers. They'll probably come up with something similar by using software instead of the hardware, like we used to do it, like the DX10 and the 101 still has the hardware for the super heterodyne receiver section on the front end. But eventually, I think they'll come up with a pure SDR, and they will be able to mimic, the selectivity of the super het receivers. Eventually, they'll come up with that. Oh, and when it comes to solid-state amplifiers, I don't know if you guys know it, but the solid-state amplifiers still lack the linearity that the vacuum tubes has. A lot of people will disagree with me, but the linearity aspect of solid state has not come up to the level of the tube type amplification. And so, when you buy an amplifier, they always tell you that this is the output, and but they never tell you about the linearity aspect of the amplifier. And Rob Sherwood in his report emphasized this, that a lot of these solid-state amplifiers, when you run it 100% of its capacity, you get into a zone, especially at more than 50% of its output, linearity goes out of the window. And you actually produce distortion in the band that you are not aware of. And you tend to dirty up the other frequencies by driving your amplifier, your solid state amplifier, to more than 50% of its capacity. Of course, manufacturers will tell you it's not true, but you got to read the Sherwood report, and he will explain to you that and like him, I am partial to tube amplifiers, because tube amplifiers have better ranges than solid state, and this is what Anan has actually discovered on their TX audio, where they try to limit. They don't go beyond the pre-distortion level. The key is to stay within that sweet spot of the linearity of the circuitry of the amplifier. So in which case, that's usually 50% below. It's the amplification capability of the amplifier itself. And in that aspect, I was reading how Yaesu did that. They're partially correct in the sense that they are using a Class A, and then they have limiters in their amplifiers especially in the preamp on the TX side. And, they try to limit the, or be within that sweet spot so that the audio quality will be very good. But even that doesn't come close, even to what Anan is able to do. And like I said, in your case, DJ, you really sound as if you're inside a studio, the way I listen to it. I'm using a headphone, so I, through the speaker, you lose a lot when you listen. But when you use a headset, you get all the ambiance that the other that the transmitting station is sending, and by doing that, it opens up the neural capacity of the brain, as it were. So, anyways, that's how I describe your audio when it comes to clarity. I don't look for the announcer quality kind of transmission. What I look for is the clarity of the voice, just like when being a musician, where you look at the clarity of, let's say, a trumpet or a violin, or musicians will tell you that there's fidelity in the instrument in itself, and that's what you're trying to do. And in the recording studio, when you mimic that, that's what you're looking for, the clarity of the voice of, let's say, the announcer. Anyways, okay, enough of that. I think I've said so much. So we'll see. We'll see if Cesar is back. Cesar, are you back? Okay, looks like he's not. So let's see. We'll push it back to Anthony. I think it goes around in a circle. VE3AVI and the group VE3NLP.
VA3NPD, I believe, VA3ABT. Very good, Peter. I caught everything you said, and I have to agree with you 100%. No one ever, no companies repair anything today is straight swap of a module board or anything like that, but repairs are definitely a thing in the past these days, and have to also agree with you on the they are something else. Finally, an SDR radio, it may be computer based, but it essentially Anan has done a very good job in producing that radio where it fits a variety of amateurs the way they want to sound. You want it DX audio, you can definitely achieve that with the Anan. You want that deep broadcasting announcer audio, you can achieve that too. And if you just want that clarity, smooth audio balance between the high and low, you can achieve that too with the Anan. I have not till today heard a bad Anan on the radio on any band. Maybe I missed bad ones, I don't know, but everyone that I've heard, especially DJ, not running any rack gear, sounds beautiful. I'm a Kenwood guy. Always have been and always will. I've had icons in the past, and they just do not suit my style amateur radio. Great radio all around, but not for me. So I can't knock it. Acom. I've had the Yaesu 101D, and I absolutely love that radio. But again, it let me down, and it's not for me. So I went back to what I know. Kenwood TSA 90. I had that 990 at first, but long story short, I got out of ham radio in 2015 and sold that 990, as well as a bunch of other equipment. I got back into it in 2018, and I bought the 101 101D, rather. ZD is older rig, but that radio let me down, and happy with the A90. I don't think I will ever sell it unless I'm getting out of the hobby, but not anytime soon. So I definitely see an unknown SDR in my future in that shack. Now, what do I want to give up to get the Anan? Now, that's a whole different story altogether, and I definitely don't want to bore you guys with that. I know already my speech is kind of iffy as I continue to talk, so that is my 2 cents on the Anan, and as far as repair stuff, that's ancient history. You get the odd repair here and there, but more or less amateurs today are starting to do their own repairs. Due to the fact there's very little technicians out there that are repairing stuff. Oh yeah, as far as the solid state amplifiers, I have to agree with you, Peter, 100%. They are not as linear as the manufacturers say they are. I have the the Quadra Yaesu, and great amplifier, but it locked in that transparency and the linearity. So I'm definitely happy to upgrade my AL1500s. They're a great amplifier. Mind you, the tubes are stupid expensive, but I have enough spares over here, and they put out plenty of power, more than I need. So thumbs up to the tube amplifiers, and I'm sure as future progresses, we're gonna see the solid state stuff get a little more cleaner, a little more linearity. You can run it 100% without any issues, but I believe we are far from that nowadays, now that we have a component shortage With that being said, I'll send it over to Mike, V3LPOVA3AVT.
Okay, VA3AVT, V3LPO in the group there. Well, I know tubes. I love tubes. I have audio stuff basically in the living room, which has tubes in it there. I actually have a CD player with tubes in it there for the preamp there, and I've had other CD players, but they don't sound the same. It's just a totally different quality. I'm not saying solid state. Anything solid state is no good there, but tubes just have a specific sound to it, and they perform in a different way than the solid state does there. Although they're getting popular, I'm not sure if they're ever going to match it completely, but they're probably working on it there. The technology just advances throughout the years there, and it just gets better and better and better. I'm not going to stay too long here. I have some other stuff to do there, so we'll put it back to
Mike Delta.
I'll put it back to Don there, and then I'll say my 73s to you guys there. I'm going to grab some lunch, and then I got to do some other stuff as well there. I'll definitely look up on the YouTube channel there, Don there, later on to see what that's all about there. I like following those channels there. V3LPO in the group with V3NNP and VA3AVT. 73s, Anthony. The pleasure was all mine there. I love rack tubing there. Same with Peter out of Hamilton. Very knowledgeable about audio-wise there. I'm just listening, trying to absorb it all there, so to speak, even with Don there. So I'll put it back to Don there. VA3KBC there, Don. Go ahead.
Okay, and acknowledge there, and Vito. Take care there, Mike. I got a list of things I wanted to just touch on. When it comes to the Flex 6300, I got that from Angelo. He had that. Wasn't the Anan, it was the Flex at that time, and that's got to be 6 years ago, 6 years ago, I think it was, somewhere around there. Anyhow, and as far as the Flex, they're more plug and play. Not much to get them set up. Anan has a lot more to it, and it's not for everybody. Now, there is a lot of help available. There's the Anan forum on the Apache Labs website. There's a forum there, and there's a lot of guys around. Art, like I said, Art N4QNT helped. He helped me with the audio. We did, like I said, we did TeamView. Very knowledgeable on the radio. So there is guys that can help out when it comes to setting things up. There's a group of us on Signal. Chris, Dwayne, Doug, Art. I'm trying to think who else is there. Jeff. They all have the Anan, and they're very knowledgeable. I'm more of a hands-on, and I can do some stuff, but other stuff, when it gets really deep, I need help with. So I'm, as an old mechanic and farm boy on the farm, anything mechanical, you could see, what needed to be fixed. When it comes to electronics, I have a little bit more difficulty trying to understand that because I can't see it. So that's my issue there. The 8000 DLE, I believe that's that new one that Anan has. That's a 500 watt amp. So by golly, that, and I think it'll go even higher than that, but they're claiming it's 500 watts. So the power supply you have to get for that, I forget what the heck it is, 50 or 60. It's you got to have a pretty robust power supply for it. But anyhow, and the guys with the Mercury amps, they're nice and clean. They also, just a minute, frog in my throat here, fur ball in my throat. Most guys, I think there's a 1200 watt amp, but most guys run 600-700. That's probably about all they run, 800. So very, very clean. And tube amplifiers. That's still the best for audio sounding. What else was there? I think that was about it. So anyhow, we're getting close to, well, not quite to the top of the hour, but I'm gonna cut the stream here shortly and go do something else this afternoon. I got maybe go for a walk. It's beautiful outside. 51 degrees here in the community Lambton Shore, Southern Ontario. I'm still Fahrenheit, guys. I'm going to be 71 in May, and I'm still Fahrenheit miles per gallon. And I don't care for the other crap. So I listen to WJR 760 out of Detroit for my weather, because the weather comes from the west-southwest, Port Huron, Michigan here, 107.1, the country station. So I'm still in Fahrenheit. But other than that, that's my story. And if, like I said, anybody wants to see the stream, they can watch it later. And I generally put headphones on, and I'll listen to it later just to pick up stuff I might have missed. And well, I'll tell you, you can get a lot more when you do have headphones on than without. So there is a lot to that as well. So I'll put it back to Peter. I'm going to cut the stream here, and I'm going to say 7-3 to everybody. Everybody have a great day. Pete, you can pick up. I think it was Vito. I thought I heard him there, but anyhow, I'll give it to you, and I'm going to say 7-3 to everybody. Everybody have a great rest of the Sunday afternoon, and what do we got to do this? We've got to do it this way. Live long and prosper. VA3 KBC.
Take care, DJ. Always good talking to you. And Mike, if you're still in there, thank you for the conversation, and we'll talk again. And good afternoon to Vito.
Hey.